This is a product video for Avery Dennison's SW900 Gold Metallic Wrap Film Series, and here are the product details. Product number SW900, film type, cast, roll lengths, 25 and 50 yards, roll width, 60 inches or 152 centimeters, comes in 4 colors with a gloss metallic finish, varies between 3.2 and 4.7 in thickness, adhesive is EZRS, long-term removable, and here are the uses. Important roll information can be found on the outside of the box, including roll length, width, and lot number. This information can also be found in the core tube. The 4 colors are Spark, Magnetic Burst, Radioactive, and Eclipse. And here's the product information. The lamination is built in, there's no printing directly on the surface, and here's the warranty for vertical and horizontal. Zone 1, 3, 1, Zone 2, 2.5, 6 months, Zone 3, 1.5, 4 months. Always be sure to take off hardware and measure and cut down the panels before installing. Before every wrap, the vehicle needs to be properly prepped, with the first step being hardware removals. Be sure to use the proper tools in order to avoid damaging the vehicle. For seamless results, it's best to remove the door handles, and this can involve removing the door panels. Store hardware in a safe area for easy reinstall. To create high workflow and minimize waste, measure out each section, and always be sure to account for around 3 inches of extra bleed on each panel. Cut the panels down on a cutting table and roll the SW900 on the outside. Be sure to label each panel with masking tape so the installer can grab the exact panel as needed. The gold metallic flakes create unique shifts of light along with the gloss face. The adhesive is white with easy apply and RS features. The gold metallic makes this film directional, so be sure that the Avery Dennison logo goes in the same direction for each section being wrapped. Now, doing this can make the panels look darker or lighter. With the liner removed, the film can be easily slid on the application surface. Only when it's squeegee does the film properly bond to the surface. For inlays or overlays, an overlap of 1/8 of an inch will hold securely for the long term. When applying heat to the film, be sure to avoid overstretching it, as this will cause it to lighten in color and lead to durability issues in terms of lifting out of recessed areas and on edges. Installation information: workspace temperature between 60 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, standard cleaning, paint, OEM under 5 years, good condition, conformability, complex curves and deep recessed areas. Here are the tools needed for professional result. Surface energy of the wrap film is high, but keep in mind that the thicker colors may have reduced conformability. With the hardware removed, take off any adhesive residue left behind, then clean and degrease the surface with extra focus on the edges. For a perfect finish, a clay bar can be used as well. The gold metallic flakes can make the film fragile in cool workspaces, so lowering the surface energy of the outside area with masking tape is a safe prep step. Remove the excess film with the liner on to use for mirrors and door handles. For best results, remove the entire liner, then create a wrinkle-free panel first before squeegeeing. Once the panel is in a wrinkle-free state, apply the recessed areas first by using an Avery Dennison application glove sprayed with soap and water. This is called the palm technique. This will avoid any adhesive lines and result in a paint-like finish. And once the recessed area is applied, squeegee the flat last. The RS feature and easy apply will keep the film from sticking on the surface and no bubbles will occur. Next, focus on the corners. In order to get the best quality, click the blade before cutting. Then cut on the opposite side of the edge being applied. This will ensure that enough wrap film goes around for full coverage. Before sealing, relax any tension on the film with heat. Then seal it with a finger or squeegee. When the section is done, do a 360-degree check over on the area to look for bubbles and edges that are lifting. When making relief cuts, especially ones around raised objects, make sure that they're enclosed. Making a single line can cause the film to tear due to the nature of metallic films. With 2 installers, work around the raised object. Once around the raised object, release the entire liner, create 100% glass, then squeegee the film onto the surface. For soft window molding, tuck the film behind it using the blue Avery Flextreme. To avoid overstretching the film around the raised object, use the tuck and cut method to relax the film into the base. Then, once to the base, cut away the excess film safely, then use the Avery Dennison red Flextreme to seal the tight gap. For deep recessed areas, use an application glove to form the film in without overstretching it. And if there are minor recessed areas, make a relief cut so the film can relax to the surface. For large areas behind the hardware, like the back light, only wrap around 1/4 to 1/2 an inch behind the visible edge. This coverage achieves a perfect finish while avoiding overwrapping and makes for quick removals when the wrap comes off. For ease of installation, the car, especially for bumpers and the sides, should be placed on a lift or race ramps. Before installing, masking tape all high energy areas not being wrapped and cover the wheels to avoid dirt exposure. On large panels, use magnets to hold the panel on the body and then a snitty cutting tool instead of a knife or metal scissors to trim the panels into the right size. Always take into account giving each panel 3 inches of excess film and keeping the Avery Dennison logo going in the same direction. For cuts directly on the body like door jambs or underneath bumpers, use cutting tape. For bumpers, it's best to work with 2 installers. Once the liner is released, anchor the panel on the flat area. Then, gently work around the compound curves on the side in order to keep the color and the hue of the gloss metallic uniform. Applying light heat with a heat gun or ire heater can be helpful, then pulling in the triangle shape evens the film out on the corners. Once the panel is in place, simply squeegee. For recessed areas, lock the outside edge first, then apply the film into the recessed area in 1 or 2 strokes. This avoids adhesive lines. For deep scoops commonly found on the back bumpers and front bumpers, as well as door jambs, apply the film into the scoops first. Use an application glove or the Avery Dennison red squeegee to form the film into this area in stages. This can allow the installer to work the film into these areas in one piece without it lightening in hue or overstretching. Always be sure to feed tight gaps instead of bridging and forcing the film in, and always be sure to make a note to post-heat these areas during post-install. For tight gaps, using the red Avery Flextreme works very well to seal the edges, and the red squeegee can be used for wider, curved gaps. And for severe compound curves found on mirrors, door handles, and front bumpers, each gold flake film will conform to these differently due to thickness variations, so be sure to make a test before a live install. And here's the post-install information. Cure time 24 hours above 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Always use Avery Dennison Aftercare products. Avoid cleaning the film with isopropyl alcohol. Post-heat temperature 185 to 195 Fahrenheit. Overlaps 225. And use edge seal tape on the underside for a long durable finish. For edges on the body, like under bumpers and rocker panels, use edge seal tape, and for open edges in wheel wells, use liquid edge seal. The post-heat temperature is between 185 and 195 Fahrenheit, for areas stretched over 10%. For overlaps, it's 225 Fahrenheit. When reinstalling hardware, be sure to do it safely and double check that all lights and hardware works. Using Avery Dennison Aftercare products will maintain the high gloss finish and highlight the gold metallic flakes. Applying this on a regular basis will help ensure a long-term quality product. If it's colder than 55 degrees outside, keep the vehicle indoors for 24 hours to ensure proper cure time. For more information, you can go to this URL or social media site. This has been a product video for Avery Dennison's SW900 Gold Metallic Wrapping Film and has been proudly produced by the Wrap Institute.